straight lines. Like, he was constitutionally incapable of going around, and he liked to multiply 3-digit numbers by 3-digit numbers in his head, like on request. Or even if there had not been a request, and people were trying to talk about something else. You know, so Daddy was eccentric he liked to make up songs for the dog, and I kind of do not good songs, but it'd be like, doggy, 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 you know, and I kind of do that too, and I used to think like everybody did that, but apparently not. But my dad, for all his quirks, he was a success. And what he was most successful at was he coached the Chicago Vocational High School chess team. And CVS was, thank you, somebody whooped for CVS, yeah. CVS was an inner city, all-black high school on the south side of Chicago. And I want to talk about 1974 because in 1974, he took those kids to the state championship. Yes, and then he took them all over the state, and I went with him once. We would go to these suburban schools that were very well-funded, very white-bread, very affluent. And the thing is, my dad was a success, but he didn't dress for success. Like he was a fat guy with like a really big beard, and he cut his own hair. And, like, he had a hard time finding shoes that fit, so he would get shoes that were too narrow and just cut the sides and wrapped up duct tape. And he always had to have 5 pockets on his shirt. They don't really sell 5-pocket shirts. He'd just buy like any old shirt, and he'd like sew like little patches of fabric, and I was like, Daddy, like I didn't want people to laugh at him. I was like, Daddy, why do you have to have 5 pockets? And he said, well, if I only have 4 pockets, my tape would be in the same pocket with my pencil sharpener. So picture this guy and his team, and this was 1974. Everybody dressed like Superfly, you know, with the big afros and the bell bottoms and the platforms and the Gouster hats. And to make it worse, he had written a song that he'd like to have his team walk into these matches singing this song. It was like to the tune of One Nation Under a Groove, but all the lyrics were about chess. So it was like, knights to the center, rook on the 7th. I'm not doing the song right, but it was like, black, you know, they had this little dance, queen side majority, we go past one. And I was like, you guys, like they're teenage boys, why are they even doing this? Like, walking into these all-white schools and they're doing this, you know. And they were like, aren't you embarrassed? I know, man, Feinberg's cool. That's my dad, Feinberg is full out. Feinberg's cool, and they would do it, and then they would kick ass. I mean, they were a juggernaut. Like, nobody could, you gotta be kidding me. Fast forward 30 years. Dad's retired, he's 84 years old, he's playing chess. There's this little courtyard, Harper Court, with like upscale shops and chess benches, and the neighbors on nice days would play chess at this courtyard, and my dad's students, former students, would come and play chess, and then the Harper Court Association decided to take out the chess tables because they said the chess players were creating a nuisance. Playing chess while black was the nuisance. I mean, they didn't say as much, but like I remember the owner of the lamp store, she's like, oh, they learn it in jail. No, they don't. So they took us, and my dad decided to protest. And he went down there, he was so excited because he thought he would get arrested, and then there would be like a worldwide movement, like Free Tom, like why should Nelson Mandela have all the fun, you know? And so he went down there with this card table and a poster said, we shall not not be moved. And he sat there, and I went to see how he was doing, but the problem was, like, no one would arrest him, because he was like this, like, elderly man in a 5-pocket shirt, like he wasn't. So, you know, finally somebody called the cops. You know, well, I did. There just comes a time you gotta drop the dime on Dad, you know. And the cops came, but they wouldn't arrest him. It was like, oh, Tom, you know, they're bringing him root beer and Tootsie Rolls. Long story short, he did get his picture in the paper. It says, Chicago chess legend Tom Feinberg. And they never did get the chess tables back, but they didn't win because he died a couple years ago. And every year there is a Tom Feinberg Memorial Chess Tournament.